안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Thursday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-travel, K-people, K-everything. And before you realize, you'll be booking your flight to Korea. Now, as it is Thursday, I'm joined by our co-host Bella Kim today. Hello, Bella.
Hi, So-ah. And hello to everyone joining us today on the Culture Wave. I'm Bella, back again to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest in K-entertainment news.
And Bella, we do have a variety of K-enter news today, from a concert to a drama to a film. So why don't we kick off with K-enter news today, Bella?
Sure.
So first off, we recently introduced various concert films by singers and groups, and we have one coming up very soon.
Yes, so that is right. 17's concert film is set to premiere on April 2nd. The film, titled 17 Right Here World Tour in cinemas, will showcase the group's performances from their Goyang concerts in Korea held last October. 17 kicked off their Right Here World Tour in Korea last year and performed in 14 cities around Asia and North America, holding 30 concerts in total. 17 Right Here World Tour in cinemas will feature the entire set list from the concert, which is actually a first for any concert film by a Korean artist. The film will be released exclusive at CGV and will be screened in the range of theater formats, including 4DX and ScreenX. Meanwhile, 17 will meet with the fans at their 9th fan meeting, 17 in Carrotland at Incheon Munhak Stadium on Thursday, which is actually today, Korea time, and also on Friday. And also in April and May, they will hold fan meetings in Japan to meet Japanese fans as well.
It's great that the fans have such a variety of ways to see their big stars. So 17 fans should mark April 2nd on their calendars.
For sure.
Now next, let's talk about a new drama coming up. And I'll give a hint on what it is about. What goes around comes around.
That is right. That's a saying that is very closely related to the title of the film of the series that I will be introducing right now. We're going to talk about an upcoming Korean Netflix series, Karma. It has unveiled its official trailer. And based on a webtoon, Karma is a crime thriller depicting the intertwined stories of 6 individuals trapped in a karma they cannot escape. The newly released teaser introduces the 6 individuals, each captured in a cycle of misfortune brought on by their own dark choices. Park Hae-soo will play a character who witnesses a mysterious accident and accepts a dangerous proposal to cover it up, while Shin Mina will play a trauma surgeon who faces an inner pain and also a desire for revenge. The series will also star Lee Hee-jun, Kim Sung-kyun, and Lee Kwang-soo. Karma is set to premiere on Netflix on April 4th.
Can't wait to see Shin Mina back on the screen. And now, Bella, our last story is about an upcoming film, and the title is already very eye-catching.
I know. Another film that is coming up is The Old Woman with a Knife. It's an action film that depicts an intense showdown between Hornclaw, a veteran killer in her 60s, and Bullfight, a promising young killer who wants to work by her side. Based on a best-selling novel of the same title by author Gu Byung-mo, its original Korean title, Pagwa, carries a dual meaning. Even though it's flawed, it becomes perfect as it ripens. The Old Woman with the Knife stars Lee Hae-young, known for Walk Up and A Traveler's Needs, and also Kim Sung-chul, who starred in the 2nd season of Netflix thriller series Hellbound. The film is directed by Min Gyu-dong, known for On the Line and Her Story. The film has already been recognized globally as it was invited to this year's Berlin International Film Festival. And The Old Woman with the Knife is set to hit theaters on May 1st.
So much to watch out in the coming months in spring. Well, thank you very much, Bella, for today's K-Enter updates.
You're welcome.
And now, time to turn to our AI anchor, Ari, for other culture-related news. Ari, take it away.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. Records documenting the Jeju April 3rd incident of 1949. And South Korea's post-war forest restoration efforts are expected to be inscribed in the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. According to UNESCO on Wednesday, The recommendation for inscription was recently made by the International Advisory Committee for the Memory of the World Program. And the final decision will be made at the UNESCO Executive Board meeting in April. The Jeju April 3rd incident records chronicle a significant chapter in modern Korean history between March 1st of 1947 to September 21st of 1954, documenting the armed conflicts and government crackdowns that led to the deaths of numerous civilians on Jeju Island. The records collection will include government documents, court records, media reports, and victim testimonies. And the forest restoration records highlight South Korea's successful reforestation campaign following the devastation of the Korean War. The archive consists of over 9,600 documents, including government reports and photographs, that show the efforts made by the government and the people to restore the nation's forests. The UNESCO Memory of the World Program was launched in 1997 to preserve and promote globally significant historical documents, manuscripts, and other archival records. If inscribed, South Korea will have a total of 20 Memory of the World listings. Korea's earliest cherry blossoms bloom on Jeju Island. The Jeonnongno King Cherry Blossom Festival, which features the Jeju native large-petaled king blossoms, will kick off on March 28th with its opening ceremony at 7 p.m. Over the following 2 days, the festival will host various events and activities, including local concerts, parades, and flea markets. The Jeonnongno area will restrict vehicle access, allowing a safer walk for visitors admiring the cherry blossom scenery. The 2025 Cheongsando Slow Walking Festival will be held for 1 month starting April 5th. During the festival, visitors can participate in various cultural events and exhibitions, as well as various themed walking trails as they enjoy the spring scenery of the bright canola blossoms. Visitors can also experience Cheongsando's community-led tourism initiatives like plogging, which is a combination of jogging and litter picking. The picturesque island in Wandogun Jeollanam-do Province was designated as the first slow city in Asia in 2007 for its promotion of a slow-paced lifestyle, and was awarded the Star of Korean Tourism Award in 2024 under the Eco-Friendly Tourism category by the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism and the Korea Tourism Organization. That's all from me. Keep it tuned to the Culture Wave.
신라의 밤이요 불국사의 종소리 들려온다 지나가는 나갔네요 그런 마을 난 너의 뒤에 설 때 밀려오는 듯한 냄새가 너무 좋아 활짝 피어있는 꽃들을 지날 때마다 너를 느껴 내 똑같은 공기 너와 마시며 마냥 좋을 것만 같아 넌 꼭 감은 채로 기다려
Seoul is the most visited city by foreigners making trips to South Korea. Last year alone, 13.14 million international tourists visited South Korea's capital. For today's Hallyu People segment, we are joined by two global Seoul Mates who have experienced Seoul's tourism and infrastructure and resources firsthand and are promoting the city to the world through social media. They are Diana Durante and Nupur Bagil joining me in the studio. Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
All right, so I introduced both of you as Seoul Global Mates, but let's hear a little bit from each of you. So first, Diana, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Diana Durante. I am from Italy, but I lived in Mexico for more than 20 years, so my soul is Mexican. And yeah, I came first to Korea 11 years ago as an exchange student. And even though I was very interested in Korea before, that was the time when I really fell in love with the country.
Okay.
And then after that, I came just traveling several times, and I officially live in Korea since 6 years ago.
Oh, I see. Okay, and now Nupur, what about you? Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me for this on this platform. I'm Nupur Bagil. I'm from India. I'm here as a PhD scholar. I'm studying at Korea University, and it has been 3 years right now. Like I have been staying here for more than 3 years, I would say.
Okay, so around 3 years. So I'm really glad to have you here on the program. So first off, Diana, you mentioned that you're from Italy, but you lived in Mexico. Now you're in Seoul. So you fell in Korea the first time as an exchange student. But what really fascinated you about Korea and Seoul?
Okay, it's hard to choose one thing only, but I will say that I heard a lot from my Korean friends in Mexico back at the time. But when I first tried Korean food in Korea, it was like, oh my God, something happened. And then like experiencing how safe the country is, like it just feels so good that I can go everywhere and feeling safe at all times. So I think, yeah, I would say that like feeling also like the tradition and the culture, like firsthand was what changed my mind and made me really fall in love with Korea.
So there are a lot of aspects, but I guess food and safety were some of the big factors for you.
Right.
Okay, let's turn to Nupur. I heard that for you, it started with K-pop and K-drama in India. So I really would like to know, back in India, how big the Hallyu wave there actually it is there right now.
So I came across the K-pop song by BTS, Boy With Love, in the lockdown, during the lockdown time period, and I was doing masters. So it was kind of very much, peaceful for me to listen to K-pop, despite I didn't know the language back then. So it was just the vibe and the visuals that BTS had in their performance, and through that I came across Blackpink as well. So I'm ARMY and Blink both.
Oh.
And that's how I started becoming curious about the Korean culture and Hallyu wave, and then I came across the K-drama, and Descendants of the Sun is one of my favorite. I can rewatch it again and again. And that time I think a lot of youngsters were like, they were following up with the Hallyu wave. But now, since I visited back then India right now, and I could see there is like a huge fandoms of EXO, BTS, Blackpink, and like drama like Squid Game. We have like our Indian actor has performed in Squid Game as well.
Right, of course.
Yes, and then we also have like now K-pop idols. Like there are 2 K-pop bands, so the Sri Lanka and Arya is also from India who are representing. So I think by this I can conclude that there is a huge love towards the Korean culture, and a lot of cafes and a lot of restaurants are also getting opened back in India. I remember back in 2020 it was a lockdown period, but that time it was not possible to get the ramyeon also easily in my hometown city, which is Jodhpur in Rajasthan. But now when I visit, I was so shocked. There is a huge drinks like from Korea. There are a lot of food varieties available, and people are loving it, not only from my generation but also from my parents' generation. They're aware about BTS, Blackpink. So I mean, and they're also kind of interested to learn the language now. So they're just basic but still they want to learn it.
Oh, that's good to hear. I mean, recently on the Culture Wave, we talked about the key Hallyu words that trended last year. And I saw that K-pop was mostly really discussed a lot in India. So I guess that's where it started. But now it even goes to cafes and drinks from Korea. Very interesting.
Right.
And now, Diana, let's move over to Mexico. How did the popularity of or the awareness of Hallyu change in the past decade? Because a lot has changed in the past 10 years. So how was it back when you were in Mexico and now?
Yeah, like I would say it changed a lot. Like now it's completely different. Back at the time when I was like into Korean things, everyone was like, what? Korea? What? Like, because it's a very far country, so a lot of Mexicans were not even aware of like the exact location of Korea. But now, when I visit back, it's super popular, and I would say like every Mexican knows even a little bit about Korea, of have watched a drama or like tried some K-beauty products. Especially K-beauty is now super trendy in Mexico. Everyone fights for it in shopping malls. And I was also surprised, like back at the time, it was so hard to find like Korean food or products. Like it was only available in Koreatown in Mexico City. Now like all over 7-Elevens all around Mexico, there is a Korea corner, we call it, and you can find several Korean products. Like even in my hometown, which is like far away from the capital. So I would say now it's getting very popular, and even from my parents as well. Sometimes they say like, oh, I heard this song when I watched this K-drama, and I'm like, how come? Like I'm so happy to see, like I could say now the popularity definitely has grown a lot, especially among young generations. It's like super trendy these days.
That's very interesting that both of you mentioned your parents. So it looks like now it's a number of generations that are getting interested into the Korean culture. Now, Nupur, you are currently pursuing a PhD in architecture here in Korea. So from the perspective of an aspiring architect, what would you say, would you recommend to people in regards to Seoul's attractions, maybe buildings or any locations?
So I'm more towards an heritage and historic side when I talk about architecture. So I really like there was another reason why I came to Korea to pursue the PhD, and it was the protection of the Namdaemun market, and the Korean society really worked hard to protect their architectural jewels. And that's what I love about them, that the society itself is very active in terms of architecture. And when I talk about the tourist attractions in Korea, I think there are a lot of them, like which I would love to mention when it comes from the point of view of nature or history. One of my favorite is Gyeongju Palace, which is located in Seoul, and I really love the idea, and I hope that I believe that in future or nearby future, even in India, we can follow the policies where like people can wear the traditional dresses and they can get into the monuments for free. Like that's what happens in Korea, and one can feel like the different eras. So if visitors coming from outside Korea and they're visiting Seoul, and they can go through all the eras, whether it's K-pop, whether it's nature, whether it's the history. So I think for everyone there is something. Like Han River is there, you go, you can do the cycling over there, you can have a view of sunset. It's really beautiful and soothing. So I think there are a lot of attractions that I cannot just like conclude in one or two. And not only in Seoul, there are like a lot of cities outside Seoul also which has like a lot of things to explore. So it's not just K-drama or K-pop, but beyond that also, for every generation there is something to see.
Right. Although both of you are promoting Seoul, I guess you also traveled around to other many places that also have lots of attractions. And now both of you have been given the role as Global Seoul Mate. So I want to know, what is your aim? Like, what do you want to achieve by having this role and showing the rest of the world what Seoul is about? Let's start with you, Diana.
Okay, like I actually kind of agree with what Nupur just said. I think for me, like the most attractive thing about Seoul is that it's amazing how you can find tradition and ancient history perfectly merged with technology and modernity. So for me, that's just amazing, and you can find it all in Seoul. And also the fact that Seoul is constantly changing, so there's always something new to see. Like if you go through this street and then you go again 1 year later, there will be a whole new like stores and things to do. So I'll say for me that's the main attraction, that no matter like how many times you visit, you will always find something new to see or to do.
Okay, so it's everything changing in a fast manner is one of the great things you see in Seoul, but also the historic part still remains as well. Okay, what about you, Nupur?
So as I agree with Diana, I think it's a perfect combination when it comes to modernity as well as the traditions. So within the Seoul, one can see there are apartments, then there is also historical palace, and there is also nature-related things are also there in it. So I think for me, the best attraction I would say is the Seoul Dal, which is one of my favorite. I visited with Diana itself, and one can, if you are really into the nature, you can see the whole panoramic, the view of the Seoul, which is really nice from the hot air balloon. And then Han River is another one, Gyeongju Palace, and of course the cafe culture. Like I really love the cafe culture, whether it's a study cafes or it's like K-pop themed cafes. One of my favorite, like two of my favorites is like one is Hyoga Cafe, which is like the old dome of BTS, and it is converted into the cafe. So I think that is the huge attraction to the people who are like ARMY. And then for Blinks, it's the same cafe just in front of IG Entertainment. So I think this kind of places, the locations give a variety of things to explore within the Seoul itself.
Now you mentioned this Seoul Dal, which for our viewers abroad, we could explain as Seoul and moon, because Dal means moon in Korean, and it is a hot air balloon that I think it just launched a few months ago, so that is also something new. Now you did already mention about what places you would recommend. I would like to ask Diana once more, if there's a friend of you who would like to make a trip to Seoul now, what would you recommend to that friend?
Well, like for starters, I will say like the iconic places, like for example, Namsan Tower, of course, Gyeongbokgung Palace, Lotte Tower, like, and then I think Seoul has something to offer to everyone, so it depends on what the person likes the most. Like, for example, if you're into K-pop, you could visit like Haikai Grand, which is like a place where you can experience making your own K-pop style music video. We had a lot of fun there too. But if you're more into like history or tradition, I personally really enjoy the Korean Traditional Medicine Museum. I learned a lot and it was very interesting. And like if you're more into like, let's say K-beauty, there are like so many places where you can experience K-beauty for free, like getting your personal color and see like all the K-beauty products that are launching this year. So there's something for everyone. So I will ask my friend first, what are you mostly interested in?
Okay, I feel like I should make notes here because there are many aspects that I hear from you and that I learn. Now, what I found also interesting is that I've heard that 8 out of 10 global soulmates are women, and the average age is about 30. So generally, there seems to be a high proportion of young females active in this role. So why do you think that is? Nupur, would you like to answer first?
Okay, so I think when we talk about women empowerment, I would rather like rephrase it. So I think it is happening globally, like not only the young women or the old women, everyone is doing a multitasking jobs, whether they are housemaking, but they are doing different things, active on social media, or if they are a teacher, or if they are a student. I think they are very much very good, or I would say they are perfect at organizing the different aspects of life. So I think because of that, it gives a huge platform to the women within GSM. But I think Global Soulmate, they give chance to all, like it's not gender biased. We also have a lot of males in it. So I think that's the reason why there is maximum women is there, because we are very good at the multitasking. So maybe that's one aspect I would like to mention.
Multitasking, okay.
Yeah.
Diana, you would like to add something to that?
Yeah, like, well, actually, I agree totally with what she said, but also like it's interesting because I actually heard from our GSM team that in YouTube channel, the subscribers are actually mostly male subscribers, like 60% of them are males. So it's kind of well balanced somehow, I would say. And also I would like to add that Some aspects of Hallyu, that's maybe just my personal opinion, but like might be more attractive to women. For example, K-beauty is still kind of controversial for some men, especially in Western countries. Like I have gave my dad some K-beauty products and he's like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, so I would say that could also be, or like K-dramas or K-pop, like generally women like to show their love for that more than male are like maybe secretly watching a lot of dramas, but they don't show it off as much as women. And also like, I feel when you're in your 30s is when you get the time and money to start traveling and fulfilling your dreams, because you already graduated and then you can start like traveling wherever you want. So I would say maybe that's the reason why we have a lot of like women in their 30s. Like myself.
I see. I can imagine that many other young people, women or men, would be interested in getting the same role as you as Global Soulmates. It was a very fun and interesting segment today with you. So thank you very much, Diana, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun for me to talk about this program.
And thank you, Nupur, also for joining us for today's program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. It was fun to talk to you about it.
Thank you. And thank you to our viewers for joining us today. And please join us again tomorrow for your daily dose of K-culture issues. Thanks for watching.